All right. Hey, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Sue, and I am from OML Embroidery. And today we're going to be doing some Halloween decorations. I hope you guys like my ghosty avatar. I thought it was kind of fun. Hi, Misha. I hope you feel better. I am suffering from allergies. I don't even know why it's so bad. So I'm kind of the same thing, feeling kind of crappy. So, all good, Don says. Nice and clear, nothing flashing. That's good. So, how is everyone doing? Jackie Burke, Judy Quilt. Hi, Judy Quilt. Who else is here? Anybody new? Put your name up there. Susan Weehee. Hello, Susan Weehee. If there's new people, just give yourself a shout out and then we'll know. Glad to hear that it's all good, Don Brown. Yeah, it took us a week to figure it out, but we got it. We got it. We have really good streaming software, so it makes it good. Yeah, there's Susan Weehee. Oh, Gail, hello. Online feed is good. Yeah, I think we've conquered it. I think we're good. So, it's awesome. Lila, hello, Lila. Rona, yay! All my good embroidery friends are here. That's awesome. It's kind of fun. Beagle, do you know that I'm live? No. I guess Beetlejuice forgot I was live. Hi. Oh, it's Tank. Hi, baby. Go down and ask Dawn. Go. Tank, I'm not eating anything. Go. All right, I get to ignore the dogs. Okay, so we are going to have some fun with this. Now you can see the bats that I did. They're not even remotely perfect, and that's okay. We're going to make little bunting things. Everyone likes making them, and I want to show you guys how easy it is to do. So I made a few, and of course we're still on the theme of using shapes. So this is a basic one, and you guessed it, it is a triangle shape. Now, what are these? This is where you will just cut and you put the ribbon through, and this is simply a buttonhole. So it's super easy to do. Let's go up top and we'll just recreate this triangle one because it's easy. Now the only thing you have to do is watch your sizes. So I'm going to, do I always do it wrong? Yes, I did it right. Yay! So the triangle, I'll check the size in a minute. Perfect. And let's see the size. 5 by 6, you know what, that's okay. And then we're going to convert to applique. And I'm done. Pretty much done. That's how you make a bunting. No, actually, there's a little more to it. Blah, blah, blah. Applique width, stitch length, density, corner type. You might have to play around with that. Placement, tack down, and you can change the offsets if you want, but I'm happy with that. I tend to make this just a little bit thicker, and I just seem to like it better. Now, if you want to see your fabric, go here. Maybe we'll just put an orange background. If you keep it all together like that, then you can do it. Up here, and I know Hatch has it, and I'm sure all the other softwares have it too, that just make a buttonhole. So there's different kinds. If you want it more square, if you want it like that, it doesn't, I personally like the rounded ones, but there's also decorated buttonholes. None of them are very Halloween-y, but you know, something like that, if you're doing something else, would be super cute, and it's already done for you. But you might be able to make one. Let's look at this one. Like, add the decorations to it, and it's just a click and a click. And okay, so let's use our tools. I didn't click very well on that. We are gonna use our tools right here to make sure it's perfect. Those look like eyeballs to me. I think it's awful cute though. Why not? So if you don't want that, then just pick a plain one. let's do the square one. So you can play around with that. I think this one looks good. So either way, I'm going to go ahead and delete that one. And I'm just going to put it up here. Now, what else do you do with the bunting? Looks like goat eyes. That's kind of random, Alicia. I wonder if PEDesign 10 has buttonholes. I have 11, but most of them do. Hatch has it. But the thing is, if you look at it, I mean, it's easy to make like this, but if you look at it, what is it? It's just two thin satin stitches with a little space in between, and up here is the connection. So you can make a buttonhole. I can tell you how big this one is. It is 1 inch high and 0.22. That you could just make it yourself, and you could do different things with it, but you need satin stitches. So if you can't find the buttonhole button, then you can just make one of your own. That's all this is here. They put the satin stitch on top. That's fine. Because I was thinking, looking at this, if you made a cat eye or 2 eyeballs on it, I think that would look really good. Judy Quilt says, I love looking at my software after each show and looking for options to do things with my software. These videos really get me thinking and much more confident. Awesome. I had to stop and Google bunting. I've never actually made them, but you know what? They're super easy to make. It's really kind of cute. You know, the ones that say that you can buy just about anywhere. It says happy birthday and it's all on a string. That is what we're making, basically. So you can, depending on what you like, you can make this completely in the hoop, of course, water-soluble stabilizer. And you can put a back on it or don't put a back on it, whatever you prefer. You could maybe even iron on some fusible anything on it to give it the stiffness. It's easy. So let's, just while we're here, because we want to dress this guy up. So this is plain triangle. And it's the right size, and it looks good, but it's a little empty. So what could we put? Not happy birthday because it's Halloweeny, but, you know, enter if you dare. 3 of them kind of hanging around. And you can do each line a little differently, or Halloween or trick or treat would be nice. I think so. I'm going to make a copy of this one. Copy and paste. And like I said, it's just 2 satin stitches, and here is the connection there, so you don't want any trims or anything like that. Sandy, these are the best classes. I learned so much. Thank you. Well, thanks for all your help, Sandy, as always. It's awesome. So, and thank you very much, if I didn't say that. Batter stay out. Yep. Anything you want on it, and you just put a letter on, and I'm going to show you the key factors around the letters. But look, it's easy. You don't need anything to, you know, create your own stuff. I'm going to make a circle and move it over the preformed buttonhole, and then we're going to change it, and then you can add different things to it to make it look like an eyeball. I think that's a great idea. You can make the designs bigger or smaller, and look, that's a pretty good cat eye, I think. We need some stitches on it, so let's convert it to what? Steel stitch? Yeah, there we go. And you know what? You can make this a green, and it's an eyeball. You can add to it, play around, but you know, look, it's just a circle. So we got to do the lettering on this. I mean, you can do bunting with just designs or whatever. It's a very popular thing, but I think, Oh, Gail says, I feel so inspired to try new things from your classes. Well, I'm glad. Inspiration, you can do it, give you confidence. Ronog, hi Ronog, I didn't see your name there before. I wanted to ask Ronog, I probably say it wrong every single time, my apologies, we love you. Is there a short form for your name? Just out of curiosity, Rona, because you've been such a participant, and I'm wondering, like, my full name is Susan. Nobody ever calls me that. The short name is Sue, so everyone calls me Sue. It's what I prefer. So I was wondering if, like, what it would be. I'm just interested, just curious. I think it's a beautiful name. Judy Quilt, yes. You put the effort into that. Was it you, Judy Quilt, that figured it out to type her name properly? I think that's wonderful effort. Thank you for that. So, okay, we're talking letters. Now, you can do a monogram. You could do text designs. So this is what comes in the Perfect Embroidery Pro. But let's just do simple. Lila is doing awesome. All your mug rugs that you created are fantastic. So I selected the text tool, and you just click and place one down. And then I went through and I picked, whichever one. I thought this one looked kind of like a kid, sort of creepy looking, and we'll make it into an H. Now, the next problem that you're going to face is size. Size does matter when it comes to font. So in this software, you don't have to go into the manual and look everything up, but you need to be aware of it. For this one, you just hover. Now, it's kind of going a little bit off the screen there. Apologies. But it says recommended height range, and it's 1.97, so that goes in here, 1.97, and hit enter or apply, and that's probably a good size. So that's the maximum suggested size for this lettering. Now, if you go bigger, I mean, you can. Let's go back to my selection. It's going to split. And if you don't mind that look, if you had a way bigger one, if you don't mind that look, that's fine. The other alternative is you can change it to fill stitch. You could, if you're doing something really big, you could do an applique. You could do anything you want. But just be aware that you need to see your satin stitches split, because long satin stitches have an incredibly high chance of unraveling, coming apart, getting caught on something, and completely wrecking your design. So that is right here. This is your basic bunting. Now, that's okay like that if you have some nice fabric and you make, you could even put like a little cat nose triangle. You could make, how's this for an idea? Around these, you could make a jack-o'-lantern face. Easy. And then you just copy and paste and change the letter. It's awesome. So lots of ideas there. Now, you don't have to stick to the, I'm air quoting, traditional shape like that. You can use any shape that you want. So I know Hatch has a whole bunch, and I really like it with the being able to see the background, and you can move it around too. It's kind of fun. So different shapes will look. Now look what I did here for my bunting. I apparently forgot the buttonholes, but they fit rather handily in there. But this is our tiki torch, and why not? I thought it looked pretty good. It would stitch out nicely. And the shape, I just borrowed the shape from my lace maker, because my lace maker is awesome. So I just added the letters, and you can see this one's split, this one's only half split. And I would either make this letter a bit smaller so it's no splitting, because I don't like, yep. And I would do this one a little bit smaller as well, so it's not split. See, it's still a little split there. Maybe that doesn't bother people, but I don't care for it. I'm particular about my fonts. And then you can line them up with each other. Remember, use the tools that you have. And let's make them even, because that'll make it look good. And of course, create yourself some buttonholes. That's super easy to do. I'm going to show you how to really make a fancy buttonhole in a minute. So I'm going to go into my lace maker, which is here, and it's called Lace Frames. You can use these for lace. You can use them for anything that you want. Now, on the ones that I made to show you guys, like on the YouTube picture and in the group, I just used these and just made it into 2 appliques. It's awesome. But let's look at holiday. And the first one I see is a bat. Wouldn't that be cute to have a string of bats? I would love my lace maker. It's so much fun. I absolutely adore it. Look, you could do Christmas tree buntings, bats. Let's go down to the bottom. I looked at the skull, but I didn't want all the eyes in there and stuff, and it looked kind of weird. This one's kind of weird too. It's a witch head, but I had to look at it 4 times. A witch hat, why not? A witch boot, how cute is that? Let's bring in the witch boot. And it brings it in just like any other shape. Let's check the size. 6 by 8, that's pretty big, but we can leave it. And then you just go convert to and applique, and boom, we have another bunting. And I think it's fantastic. And then you can go ahead and decorate it. I'm gonna check. Yeah, I always put it up a little bit more. That way it's more forgiving. And this will be a whole other bunting, and I like it. So let's do, I guess we'd have to do it straight. So I'm going to even those up. Now you can put your grid on, and you can do snap to grid, that sort of thing. But you know what? It's much easier to select both. It's not letting me select both. Select. Hey, you stop it. Select both. Ha! Gotcha. I don't know what I was doing. And I want it to be level to this one, because this one's up too high and the boot will be crooked. Might be a good look. And I just click it, and now it's perfect. And then you can go ahead and decorate it. Now, one thing, if you want a backing on for your design, we're just doing it like a satin stitch mug rug backing. You're going to, you know, put down batting or some kind of thick cutaway and your fabric and do your applique as normal. And at the end, you just want to put the fabric face down, and then it's, you know, almost reversible, but the back still looks nice. So the way to do that is, let's do this beginner part again. I'm going to go to lace frames or shapes or anything like that. Let's just take something easy. How about a witch hat? Just because it's awesome. And I'm going to move it over here so we can see it. And the easiest way of doing this is to make a copy right away of it. So copy, and we're going to paste. And you can't see it, but I know it's there, and we're dealing with artwork as well. So I'm going to select both of them. Sorry, just one of them. And I am going to convert one of them to applique. And then we still have our artwork, which you can see. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. It's kind of like all over the place. You can see that this is placed perfectly. So we want to remember to convert it to the running stitch. And that will, you got to make sure it stitches out last and make it a weird color, so you know it's what it's for. So let's bring it to the front. So now in this little group, it's stitching out last, and that'll be your, to hold on to the backing. Actually, it's got a stitch. Sorry. Let me do that again. Let's do Control Z. You want it to stitch before your satin stitches. Satin stitches are the last thing. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. But that's the easiest way to do it, or you can just make a copy and pull it over here, and you can make changes to it that way. This is really cute, the witch's boot. Can you imagine if you had striped fabric for this? Woohoo! I like it. So different elements, different shapes. There's so much you can do with it, and add your lettering and just make it as nice as you want. And so that's the basics. So what if, I like the torches, but what if you wanted to do something else and add to it different characters? Well, look at Mr. Bat. It's super easy to do. Gail, thank you very much, Gail. So let's make a bat, why don't we? I am going to do this with you guys. So I'm going to pick a circle, got it. I'm going to make it kind of an oval. And then I'm going to pick a rectangle, and we're going to go in and change everything around, but super easy. So let's go here. This is going to be a big bat. He's going to be a big guy. So let's, I'm going to move this dude here. No, I guess I can do it right here. I'll move it down a bit so everything is a little more centered for you guys. Grab the right spot. And basic shape for a bat. So let's go into our edit nodes, or as I love to call it, node mode. And I'm going to pull one up and I'm going to pull one down. So that's the start of it. I just want it to fit better, and you do want them to overlap. Now all we have to do is we're going to add a point in here, and we just going to leave it as curved. We want a nice curve like that. You can play around. This is a good time to play around with your Bezier nodes. And then we're going to move this one out just a little bit, and then we're going to start forming the wings a little bit better. So you can leave this one here maybe, and you don't have to be precise about this at all. You can play around with it, get the look that you want. You can see that mine aren't perfect at all, so you can do it like this. Maybe you want it to be a bit thicker, maybe you want it to be round in there. I'm not really sure, so let's add a point, and I'm going to make that point into a line, and we'll just do, you know, another one up or down. So even like that is good, and I haven't made that many changes. And while you're into it, you can just, you know, move stuff around that you want. Let's do one more. So add point, and we're going to change it to a line. And you have a bat wing. Isn't that cool? I mean, it's not, like I said, not perfect. The other thing you can do to make it look a little bit better is to go back into node mode and make this one into a smooth line. So just a little bit. And we're going to do this one too, and then we can play around with it. So just changing it to smooth to get the better look that you want. Nice part is, on something like this, you only have to do it once because you can just duplicate it on the other side. Now that I think looks better already. What do you guys think? I like this one. You might want to put another one in there here. Yeah, he looks pretty good. So I'm just changing it to be kind of curvy instead of straight, but either looks good, right? I don't mind that at all. I think it probably looks a little bit better with a little more in there, but that's okay. Now we got to work on the body. This is going to be a small one, so I really don't want too much detail on it. And this one's easy. We're just simply going to add 2 points. So we're going to add point, and then I'm going to make it into a line. And we're going to do the same thing. Add point, make it into a line instead of curves. And we're going to bring it up for his big old bat ears. And yeah, that's it. That's all I did. That's all I did to change it. Again, play around with it if you want. Now I am going to copy and paste, Control C, Control V. I'm going to move this one over, and then I'm going to flip it and put it together. Now if you want to use your tools, select both of them. I've used this many times today, and now they're perfectly even, and you have not wasted any time. So you can go ahead and turn it into stitches and combine it, or we can combine it while it is still just the outline, so there's no stitches on it. So let's see. Remove overlaps, no add crosshair. Let's make it all into complex fill. And it combined it before, but not how I want. And then we can do a weld on it. I'm going to break it apart. There we go. Now we have 3 solid pieces. And I'm going to right click. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit off today. Shaping, weld, and bada boom, you have your bat. I'm going to make him a little bit smaller because I put less detail on his wings. And I think he looks pretty darn good. What do you guys think? That's pretty easy. So we just added a few points and we changed, you know, how it looks. Now let's go down here to this one. And this is something that you can put around anything, on anything. You can save them as an element you can use because you made it in its native, you know, way that you can edit it. So you can make it smaller, you can make it way bigger. It is all one piece. It is super easy to do. You can change the stitching on it. So, which makes it really good. Let's see, what could we do? Stippling, advanced stippling. You could even do a motif. I mean, why not? Scary bat. I think he looks adorable that way. Isn't that cool? I just think it's easy. So make a folder on your computer and you can keep all these elements that you make. Karina, sorry I'm late too. That's okay. I know you were watching Angela Wolf. You're allowed. Thank you for being here at all. It's wonderful. You'll just have to go back and check it out. So thanks for joining us, Karina, and hi. So those are things you can do with a bat, and it's super easy to do. Let's change this guy back into the fill stitch or tatami stitch, and let's do something really cool. Now remember, you can change the angles to make it look differently. Remember, in my avatar, this is all one bat. So smaller would mean it's further away, bigger, it's closer. And I took off the show stitches. Now I should put them back. But see, they look just fine. You don't need any more detail. If you do them big enough, then you can put like a smiley face on it. But then I thought, let's do more. Let's do something a little bit more. And I thought a spider, but a spider done Sue's way, which is kind of fun. I'm going to show you guys. Susan Weehee, thank you very much. I'm going to show you guys how I did this. I was just going to use rectangles and bend it around like we did Carl the Crab. You can still do that. It's fine. But I thought, let's do something a little bit different. Now, looking at it close up, okay, the spider has flowers for legs, really. But if you look, stand back, it looks like they're hairy legs. And I thought that was just delightful. This one here is the no sign, internationally recognized no sign, because this guy's a big nope. And that's all. That's all. So, very hairy legs. I know, but what a cute idea, isn't it? You have to be careful how small you make them and everything, but I had lots to choose from, and this took me just like super easy to do. And it's, look what I put on it. Linear decreasing. So that means it starts big and goes smaller, and that's perfect to make this fugly guy, right? Perfect. So how about we make them? And I think I'm going to use the circles, and I'm going to lightly toss in some connections, because we do not want a trim after every leg or a jump stitch. I was thinking he needs laser hair removal. Yes. A spider has 8 legs. Yeah, I know. I ran out of time. It was just to get the idea. I was kind of in a hurry and I had some technical issues, so I thought he's just an ish. He doesn't have a body either, so he's see-through body, and he's got 6 different legs. So, yep, everyone's saying spider-ish. Heck, if you want a 6-legged spider, that's groovy too. So, okay, let's keep this dude in mind, and let's go to the shapes. And it's square. I want to make it into an ellipse. And there we go. And that's our body. You can fill the body now, or you could do it after. So I'm going to go ahead and fill it now. So I'm just going to do complex fill. I'm going to double check, see how big it is. So it's 2 by 2. That's pretty good spider size. I'm happy with that. Before this stitches out though, we want to put the legs on. So let's do this, and we're going to do it so that there's no jump stitches, okay? So I'm going to, I often do this, and then you just have to change the order. So let's go here and here, and hit enter, and we want it to be just a running stitch, because this is our traveling stitch. And then what we're going to do is grab this, but we're going to change it. We're going to start where we ended off, and we're going to go right to here. It can go underneath, and we're going to hit enter. So we put the start and stop. It's pretty important. And then we are going to go ahead and change this one to a motif. Actually, I did symbol, I think, for the circle. So let me find that. Thank you, Jackie. That's awesome, Jackie Cheek. I was thinking of a spider with ant legs, but that kind of felt too ishy for me. Get it? Not iffy, ishy. What did I find? Oh, a dot. Yep, a dot. So, okay, and hit apply. And then you can remember, this is over here is the start. So if you want to change the variable size, it has to be linear decreasing. And we need to, oh, actually it's the wrong way. Linear increasing. There we go. And then you can just make adjustments to that and make adjustments to there. But it's going to walk up. It actually looks gross like that. It's going to walk up, and then it's going to stitch back down. So let's do that again, because this is how we're going to make these great connections. You could copy and paste everything and make them attach, but I think it looks better if you do it by hand. So where did we end off stitching? I am going to just change the colors here, or I could just make them into a running stitch, because I want you guys to be able to see underneath. So I filled them too early. So this is where we ended here. Just gonna move it a little bit. I kind of like that part coming out there. That was a happy accident. So we finished stitching right here. And if you need to check if you get interrupted, just go into node mode, start, and then stop. So you know we stopped right there. So grab your running stitch and you're just going to match it up. And it doesn't have to be perfectly on. If it's close, then it will just keep stitching. And let's do the next leg. And we're going to run. And remember, this will be underneath. But this is an important lesson for how you do stuff. And enter and finish that off. So it's a running stitch, which isn't much of a leg, but it's okay. And then we're going to do one back. So following it over so it covers our running stitch. Now you have to end it right there because we don't want too many of the motif stitches or the symbol stitches underneath the actual spider body. So should I try something else? Oh, I'll try to keep it normal. Everyone knows I'm ishy. I saw someone wrote that. we all know you have ishy moments. I do, thank you. I do. So now we've got it fantastic. So let's change the variable size. It's going to move a little bit. So we're going to move it back like we did the other one. See how it's going to go? This will stitch out in one shot. It's all one color, and you can hide all of your running stitches underneath. We'll do one more so you guys get it into your brain how it's working. So we are going to do the third leg, and if you want it a little bit longer to make them look really gross, that's fine. And then we're going to walk it back so it starts and ends right there. So good enough. And then we're going to change this to symbol. You could do all of it afterwards. I just take it one piece at a time because it is not difficult, but you could lose track and make a mess of it. So I just do it as I go. So that's still looking good. Linear increasing, apply. And that one is just about perfect. And I don't even mind where it is, how big it is. So you see how it's going to go? Going to stitch. Start under here, stitch there. It's going to come back a little bit, and then it's going to stitch these circles. And then it's going to go directly into the next one, all the way up to the end, and then stitch the circles, and then go to the next one, all the way up to the end, and then stitch the circles. So we're going to end up here. And then what happens when you do this, convert to complex fill, and now it's in the wrong order, but now you can't see any of the connections. So it's lots of fun. I like the linear increase, talk about a time saver. Yeah, and it adds a little bit more to your design, I think, without having to go crazy about it. And it would take a lot of time to make it, you know, look even and stuff like that. So thank you, Jackie. That's cute. That is cute. A little fox thing, I think. So I kind of got a little funny with the nope, because this guy is seriously a nope. You could do a pinwheel. I mean, think outside the box. Haha, you could make a spider out of spiders. Let's see if that looks even remotely decent. It's just for fun. No, well, you could change it around, but you can't make it that small. So we'll just never mind that. There's so many things you can do. I really like the hairy kind of looks. This is, believe it or not, candle wicking. And I thought the candle wicking looked pretty good. You just have to be careful how small you go, but I do love candle wicking. And if you've ever watched it stitch out, it's really cool. It kind of spins it around. So I'm going to pick this candle wicking because it's way less dense. And you might want to change the spacing on it. But yeah, okay, so up close, far away, yeah, that looks really, really, really bleh, awful. So easy to make a spider, and then you can finish off your spider, and I'll show you how to do that. Ellipse, we're already on it, so you can make the dude really cute and do eyeballs like that, and we'll fill those in and you can, you know, see it. Or we can make it a little bit more of an oval and the little piece in there. All right, so we're going to take that and we're going to turn it just a little bit and fill it with stitches. So convert to complex fill, and I'm going to change the color to green, and then we're going to change this to, I guess, black. There is another way of doing it, so let me show you that as well. So hopefully that guy is black, and we may have to make it a little bit smaller. But I'm thinking we can make an angry spider. And as with anything, you only have to make one, right? Because we just copy and paste the whole thing and then move it and then line it up. And it's easier to do. So let's do copy and let's do paste. And it doesn't matter that his eye is out. Flip it out of the spider body. It's all about perspective. I am never going to be able to grab that, so I'm going to do it from the list, and I'm going to do copy, and I'm going to do paste. You can even put glasses on your spider, but hopefully he looks a little bit meaner. I don't think I like the center of it. You know what else you can do? Let's make it, zoom right in, make it a little bit smaller. I think he looks like evil spider staring at you. And then, of course, don't forget eyebrows, because that gives it a nice mean look too. What are we talking about? The spider can also be used as a crab with the addition of claws. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. This guy is a little bit scarier, maybe. I'd like him to be. He's certainly a lot hairier. I like him. So, okay, eyebrows. How would we do eyebrows? Well, he is kind of an ugly spider. So, couple ways. You can do a rectangle, kind of thin, and you can convert it and move it around, and you can see already that he looks kind of mad. You can bring this down. He looks kind of mad, and then you can convert it to steel stitch, or, you know, the satin stitch. That is wrong one. Convert to satin. There you go. And we can make this maybe red sort of thing. Now look how mad he is. And you can do copy, and you can do paste, or you can do it all at once and copy one eye over. And then I'm just going to kind of twist it. So what do you think? He's pretty angry. And I thought of something. It was hilarious. Symbols. Wasn't it under symbols? Select. And I saw this. Oh, I hope I can find it. No, that's a football. That's not it. There we go. You ready for this, guys? What do you think? He doesn't look so mean now. He looks like a really mad person, but I'm seeing fly wings as well with those green eyes. Well, you know what? You could do something really groovy. Let's take a bat wing on this pretty guy. Oh, we're going to have to make it a little bit bigger. Bat wing. And can anyone guess what I'm going to do? No, maybe? Projection. And this is what makes life so much fun. Let's see. Voila. That if you do both, it could be like a really unhappy, she needs eyelashes. Isn't that making her too pretty though, Cindy? It might be. So for eyelashes, you want to take your running stitch, unless it's huge, and you want to make eyelashes. And you want it to go there and back and over a little bit, there and back, and there and back, and there and back. And we're doing it this way so there's no trims. And then, you know what? I'm going to walk right over here, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. Oh, that's going to show, you say? No, it won't be showing because we're going to stitch it underneath everything. We're going to make sure it stitches out with, because we want, oh, we don't want red eyelashes. That looks, that looks awful. So right now it's on top. So if we can send this back a little bit more, we need it back to the body area. See, the problem is I have so much stuff on here, it makes it difficult for me to find anything. And look, there you go. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you don't like them like this, guess what you can do? Go into node mode, and if you wanted to make it curly, or if you wanted to move it, you could do that. How about we add a point, and then you can just kind of curve it around, hit apply, and we have, oh, you have to do both parts, sorry. But that makes it look thicker. So you can have on this spider fly-ish, you can have things stitch out in perfect, I'll make that black, I guess, in perfect order. So it's gonna stitch, first it's gonna stitch legs, so out, and then circles on the way back, walks over here, if you remember, out, back, out, back. It's going to do the same thing here, out, back, out, back, out, back. And then we are going to make a connection between the last leg, which is going to be up here, and we're going to make a connection for the eyelashes. If you remember, they started here, and it's going to stitch out, and they're going to end over here. So that'll make it so all of the black basic stitching is going to stitch out at once with no trims, no visible connections, and I think it'll work out really well. And that's how I want you guys to start doing the digitizing. Now, if you were to, say, for example, do all this and you go, oh no, I forgot my connections, what am I going to do? You can still do them. You just have to make sure that it's in the right order. So say this is our start, ignore the running stitches. You can make your own running stitch to here. You have to change the start and stop, and then move it into the correct place so they make a connection. And this is when you would take that part off and then see where the cuts are and try to eliminate them. It's kind of like a game. It's awesome. Susan Weehee. Ah, I know, it's the weirdest-ish spider I've ever done. Although I don't mind the wings too much. I think that's groovy. Might change the, let's try something. Oh, I love playing with this stitch. So let's change it to smooth and see if we can get a better look. Although the points are nice. Let's try it. And now what we've just reused part of our bat, which is also really efficient as well. But we move it like this, maybe. Kind of make it maybe like that. Let's try that. Let's do apply. Yeah, that's kind of a little bit better. Kind of looks pretty. I'm going to select all of this and just move all of the, ooh, bare legs. I was hoping to grab everything, but anyways, let's just delete it. and this is the nastiest Halloween fly ever. So copy and paste, and then we're going to move it over, and then we're going to flip it, and now she has two, whoops, I'm going to move it so it goes under, just blah. So then when you are stitching, you want the wings to stitch first, and you want them to stitch one wing and then the other wing. So let's go into node mode here. And this is where the start point is, so I'm going to move it here, and the end point is here. So I will, because I want it to be connected, I will take my running stitch, and I'm going to run right over to here and hit enter to make sure it's going the right way. And then I'm going to select here and check. Oh, that will create a jump stitch. So I'm going to move it right here. And now it's going to start here, stitch the whole thing, end here, walk over to this one, stitch the whole thing, and you've saved yourself time. Now the only thing is, okay, yeah, look at that. It's sitting on top. That is not cool. I have so much on here, it gets confusing. We need to, first of all, change it to black, and we need the wings to start stitching first, of course. So let's go up here. I gotta find the right spot. I might not even be on the right bug, but we want it to sit underneath and connect. So there we go. So it's going to stitch that out, and then we got to make sure that the circle, because remember it connected there. Yep, that would be perfect. The circle, once this wing is done, the circle's going to start stitching here and end here. So hopefully I'm just introducing you guys to these connections slowly, but it's not hard to do. I will keep you know, throwing them in a little bit, because some people can't, you know, grasp it. But here I made a little double applique bunting. This is the last thing I wanted to show you. And I did it a couple of different ways. So I just turned this one. It was an applique, and I thought, oh, I don't know if I want it. And this is just from the My Lace. It's just a shape. And then, but look, that's our bat. So I sized it to fit how I want, and then I rotated it. So then this is the same bat as that. I just flipped it. And then I decided to do angry, scary eyes because I thought it was funny. Look at the A. Did you guys notice that in the graphic? The A is angry. Use mylar under the wings, yeah, or organza or something like that. Yeah, for sure. So I don't know if you guys noticed the A. I just thought it was really good because the A almost looks like a nose. And this is not a unibrow. There's just a jump stitch in between, and I laughed and I left it. So the other thing I added to it was a spider web. And this isn't even a fancy, it isn't even a fancy one. So I just did it with running stitches, and basically you start from here and back. I'll make it a little bit bigger and back because you want this guy to stitch out in one. Now it's kind of small as well, so I didn't make any of the fancy dips. It literally just took me a minute to do. And then go across here. Try to put your points on the parts that attach. So right here, right here, right here, right here, and back to here. And hit enter. And that's how you make a spider web. It is super easy to do. It's nothing fancy. I guess I want to fix it up a little bit. I was a little off because I was doing it over the top, but how would you fix it? Node mode, and just kind of align everything. Remember, when you're doing a spider web, though, they're not perfect. I mean, nature makes them really cool, but they don't have to be perfect. And also remember the size of what you're working on. If it's bigger, you can do fancy stitches. You can do a little bit more to it, but mine's really small. Double frame, yeah, like I said, it is just from just a shape, a frame, I guess they call it. I'll use glow-in-the-dark thread for the spider webs. Ooh. What software do I use to digitize? Well, we have an embroidery business, so I use Wilcom E4. For fun stuff, I have a tendency of using this, but I love Embrilliance, and I also have PEDesign 11. So it just really depends on what I'm doing. This is Perfect Embroidery Pro from Dime, and the reason why I love this is because of the symbols, the size of the fonts. It's easy to put stuff in order, and I have all of the extras on it. So these are all separate. So let me just, okay, I have 4 minutes. I want to show you guys why this is awesome. So let's do lace frames, and what did I, oh, okay, let's do a bat and click OK. So with this Toolshed software, you can use all of your extra elements in one place, which I really think is awesome. So this is from my lace maker. So then I'm gonna go to lace grid and border, give it a sec, and this is really big, obviously. How big is it? That would take absolutely forever to stitch. So I'm going to make it a bit smaller. And I'm going to select 2. You don't want lace too huge, but this will look better. And then we're going to zoom right in. And just like that, with my lace maker, you have a lace bat. And you can also put these lace bats around on different things, because I think a lace bat stitched onto the top of this, let me select both, and I'm going to group it so I don't pull one, not the other. How about like this? I think that would be amazing. Yes, you can see through it, but it's cool. So you can add little elements to it. I mean, I think even a bunting of lace, because you can just put satin stitches on the top. Bat earrings, why not? Bat anything is just so easy to do. If you think your bat is a little bit plain, this is just extras, right? These are all the built-in designs. I do wish they had a brighter color for it, but they don't. So you could put bat earrings on. I just love looking through all this stuff. I do it all the time. It's so bad. But this is why my lace maker is my favorite, because look at all of the elements you have to add to it. And it's the shape, and then you put the proper stitches on it. Oh, I know where it is. C. I use the C one all the time because it has circles, and look at all the swirlies. Very nice, very nice. Look, it's got the scallops as well. I was just going to put eyes on it or something. Could you, in the hoop style, the bats as the connections for the bunting? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean. Look at the beautiful swirly. Maybe can you explain that better, Misha? It's probably an excellent question, and I'm just tired. You should, in the hoop style, the bats as connections for the, as connections for the bunting. I think you would still have to put the ribbon. I think I know what you mean, that these bats would go in between. So you'd have to make them as a patch, but you'd still have to string them. So you'd have a triangle, a bat, a triangle. You could absolutely make it into a patch, make them big enough. You could put a buttonhole on each side, and then you could string them so they sit just like that. Is that what you mean? Yes. Yes, for sure. Hatch and P11 is really all I need. I can't afford this one. Well, that's okay. I just tested it out, and you can do absolutely everything that I'm doing in digitizing software. It's just going to be called something different maybe, or in a different place, but you can do it for sure. So, Misha, you could do this bat as applique as well, and you could put the buttonhole on it. So applique the same way that you're doing these, and most software it's easy to switch to. So look, just like that. I would adjust a few things. Put your buttonhole on, and you could string them like that even. I think it would be super cute. Oh, that needs to be forward for you guys to see it. So don't forget about your lettering. Look at, I added 2 swirls on my bat guy. I just want to show you guys a little clearer, and then we'll call it a day. So Saturday, we are going to be doing the Sweet Pea O, the second O with the bat. Then Sunday, I want to do on Sunday. I have to think about it. Oh, I want to do another Halloween thing so I can put them together. You should sell the bunting on the website. I would play around with it a little bit more. But look at how cute that is. I wouldn't leave it as beige. We could do something kooky like orange. I mean, it's a bat-ish. It's made out of lace, right? Isn't that cute? So you could fill it full of different swirls, make it look pretty, stitch it out. You'd be so happy. Halloween on Sunday. Yeah, I kind of want to. I want to do another one from the set that we did last Sunday so I can sew them together and make a bag. And then after that, we can start the landscape silhouettes. That one's going to take... I'm not going to do every one of them, but I know the blanket stitch. I know. I want to do those. I think they would be so cute and make... we can make a placemat out of it. So there you go. Make your bats. Use your shapes. You can make really ugly spiders. You can make really ugly bat, spider, fly-ishes. Whatever you want to do. So it's easy. Use your motifs. Get your designs together. And just take your time. Remember, buttonholes make all the difference, right? It would be cute. I actually like my very strange looking spider-ish with lips. I think it turned out hilarious, and it's just good fun. That would scare anybody. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you guys will make your own shapes and your own bats and save them on your computer so you can use them for other things, and make yourself a nice bunting. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone.